These days, video is pretty much everywhere, and there are a ton of things that most people just don't know about it. Here are the top 10 weirdest facts about video. Number 10, 1800s math. In 1807, French mathematician Joseph Fourier solved a long-standing physics problem about the transfer of heat by proving that no matter how complicated a pattern is, it could be represented by a series of sine waves. In 1987, this 180-year-old insight provided the foundation for JPEG image compression and is now used in over 99% of all compressed photo, video, and sound files. Number 9, strange matter. Liquid crystals make laptops, tablets, and cell phones possible and have allowed for televisions to be bigger, brighter, and lighter. But for over 80 years, they were ignored as simply a weird quirk of science. First discovered in 1888, these solids with two melting points had no practical use until 1970, when Wolfgang Helfrich and Martin Schad invented and patented the first liquid crystal display and created an industry now worth billions of dollars. Number 8, corrosion. Audio and videotape store information by recording magnetic patterns to long strips of metal or plastic. But these strips don't hold magnetic fields very well, so they're coated in particles that do. The most common particle used? Iron oxide, also known as rust. Number 7, duplicate data. Most of the storage space on a CD or DVD is used for preventing and fixing errors rather than storing information. The audio and video data make up less than half of the bits on a DVD and less than a third of the bits on a CD. Number 6, analog video discs. The Laserdisc was the first optical disc, and its primary use was the home distribution of movies. Like CDs, Laserdiscs use pits and lands to store information. But unlike CDs, Laserdiscs aren't digital. Instead of turning information into a series of binary numbers, the audio and video on Laserdiscs is encoded into FM radio signals and stored on the disc using pulse frequency modulation, an entirely analog process. Bonus fact, Laserdiscs were originally called DiscoVision, which I think is a much cooler name. Number 5, don't tell anyone. Steve Sasson, an engineer working at the film manufacturer Eastman Kodak, invented the first digital camera a full 8 years before Sony unveiled their analog camcorder based on the same technology. But rather than developing the technology and leading the marketplace, Kodak executives instructed Sasson, "That's cute, but don't tell anyone." Even though they later returned to digital in the 1990s, Kodak didn't survive the overall shift in the marketplace. And in 2012, the 124-year-old company filed for bankruptcy. Number 4, movie theater mirrors. By the end of 2015, it's expected that almost all movie theaters around the world will have switched from film to digital projection. And in most of the digital projectors that have made this switch possible, millions of microscopic mirrors flip back and forth hundreds of times a second to selectively bounce light through the projector's lens and make the image that you see on screen. Number 3, missing details. Because of the way that digital camera sensors work, 42% or more of a camera's resolution is lost as noise or image blurring. This means that to get a full 1920 by 1080 pixels worth of detail, a camera sensor needs to have a pixel count of around 2560 by 1440, while a standard 1080p pixel count only captures about 720p worth of detail. Number 2, the mechanical television. If modern television had evolved from the system invented by John Logie Baird, they would be made of giant spinning discs with holes in them that selectively block light to make an image. Well, Baird showed off this mechanical method before the all-electric system that we're familiar with today. It failed because of some pretty serious design flaws, like its size. The image was up to 50 times smaller than the disc needed to make it. Number 1, Apple and Blu-rays. During the 2-year high-definition video format war, Apple Computer was one of Blu-ray's biggest supporters against the Microsoft-backed HD DVD. But no Apple computer ever had a Blu-ray player, and still today, their software won't read the format. On the other hand, Apple software will still read the HD DVD format, which has been technically dead since 2008. So those are my picks for the top 10 weirdest facts about video. Let me know which one surprised you the most in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and share it, and consider subscribing to Tech Laboratories for more videos on science and technology, with main videos monthly and my new series Off the Cuff weekly, featuring no script, no editing, and no polish. So until next time, I'm Tech Adams, saying keep thinking, and thanks for watching.